Okay, so I told y'all I was listening to 19 Keys for Martin Luther King's birthday. So I was taking notes, and one of the I listened to two of them, and on one of them, I think it was about the South era, and he was saying that he wants his woman to have a little bit of money. He wants her to have her own, just in case something happens. She has her own, and as a woman, I 100% agree. I agree 100%. And it may be because of the era that I grew up in was 99 and up. So 2000, 2010, 2020. So I'm watching the dynamic of it shift to where it's either have your half, I have my half, or a man that says I got you 100% because I see you got you, or there is I'm doing it all by myself. I don't need a man. Like it's really the measuring or the is it varies a whole lot on give and take and bend and what you won't accept. And so it was also about him understanding what we needed in order to move into a South era. And one of the things that I can guarantee you 100% that I know is a deal breaker is protection and safety. Like, you have to be able to feel protected and safe on all levels, where you can be vulnerable enough to rest and just be taken care of, like, and be submissive and be happy, because we live in a era right now of I got to be working at all times to stay ahead of inflation, to stay ahead of poverty. Like, we always have to be, because I can guarantee that a lot of us, and that's my group, we were raised in poverty, so we decided not to let the cycle of poverty continue. So we broke that off of the next generation, which is the goal. But it's also made us, because a lot of us came from single mothers, a lot of us came from struggling mothers. Like, it's different reasons why we, and some of us came from two-parent households, and you understood that even then sometimes you are in your masculine. And I know for myself, it's hard keeping up when you got 2 on 2 in a family. Then 2 on 3, you outnumbered, and you trying to hope for somebody to help you out, and then that kid becomes old enough to be a little more independent, and they call the first kid, they call the co-manager or whatever. And I could see that. I could see her feeling like she has to manage the family in my absence. So that puts her in her masculine. So it's like it's put on us at a young age that in order not to be like, or in order to change, or in order to break it off, or in order to not have to repeat, you got to remove. And so that forces us to be sometimes single mothers, or baby mamas, or divorcees, or whatever something has forced us to be in that position. We don't always willingly want, like the shit is hard. Always having to be rough and masculine, and you trying to figure out when should you turn it off and when should you, like, it's chaotic being in your masculine. And a lot of people saying we, bitter black women, and we looking like we are the least bit, like, for the shit that we don't have to go through, we like the least bitter. Like, we just trying to stay out the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to a point where what your lane is, what you doing, and you stay in that motherfucking lane. You let everything else go on about this song, and you focus like that. But in that, you building a wall around your heart, but you also building something foundational, because it's not done in vain. Like, we not out here in our masculine just fucking off. Like, a lot of us are breaking generational curses. We're healing. We're entrepreneurs. We're dreamers. We're women-owned businesses. We are endangered. We are mishandled. We are abused. We are misused. We are underappreciated, overworked, underpaid. Like, we are the fucking backbone of almost every fucking thing going, yet and still it's not enough. 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 Like, we tired of, when is it gonna be a fucking enough? Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you out here and you making an honest living and you doing it by yourself, then they call you, you're too independent, you a bitch, you're too bossy, diva, like, but let the man do it, and that's a good businessman. Like, it's the double standards are fucking outrageous. And then to think that we make less and probably, can run the shit ourselves is baffling, which is why a lot of us who are waking up to our worth and trying to give our dreams full on attention, we understand the value in our worth, and for that we get for knowing your worth, you can lose your fucking life. That's crazy. I know it sounds absolutely fucking insane, but it's true, because we are living in a time that if you say no, I'm good, I got a man, I'm not interested, I'm engaged, I'm married, I have a boyfriend, it's complicated, if you say that, it's damaging to a young boy's ego, and for that, they are taking our lives. For that, yes, that. And to see, like, it was so fucked up, because I'm like, okay, we as a people, we can poke fun at us like nobody can. Like, it was so funny to see the Martin Luther King Jr. party ads, the flyers for the club parties. That shit is hilarious. But to see young boys be charged with capital murder on Martin Luther King's birthday, I was disgusted. Nobody should ever have to explain to a 5-year-old why his 23-year-old mother isn't coming home. Nobody should have to go to the funeral home because her daughter said no. It disgusts me as a female, but it saddens me as a mother. It frightens me as a sister, but it tears me apart as a Black woman and mother, because everybody loses. Nobody has won. Nobody will ever win in a situation. Everybody fucking loses. And it makes me think, like, who's raising them? When I get it, I understand that once they become adults, it's on them. Like, you can raise them in the best home, and they still can turn out differently, from which I get that. But I also get that there is something out there that's raising our kids when we are not able. I remember watching the mother of the 15-year-old boy that was killed in Atlanta a couple of months ago. I remember a news break where she was saying, I asked y'all to help me with him. Like, I asked them to put him in jail. I asked them to help me with my son so that this wouldn't happen. And then this has happened. That takes some strength to say that I can't save him, and I don't know who can save him, but I'm thinking if you put him back there, that might straighten him up, that might change him. That takes some strength, some strength that we're gonna have to send these mamas, because everybody was somebody's baby. And it makes me say, where the OGs at that's supposed to be telling them, hey, that ain't what you striving to be. That's crazy. That's bullshit. Like, where the men that they're supposed to be feeding back into our neighborhoods that helped you out. It warms my heart to see guys that I went to school with having back to school drives or Christmas drives or events, and then the women too, because we understand too that shit, you might not have enough to buy school supplies for 4 kids, and so I mean, even I would say that a lot of us are failing our kids at some way, some rate, some form or fashion, but we don't know because they don't come with an instruction manual, and we kind of winging this shit and making it up as we go. So you can tell my head not to blame myself, but you can't tell my heart, because even though this baby did what she thought was, no, I'm good. Like, she thought that she was just being her. And it's funny how spirit works. I was thinking about being in Atlanta one time out late. This was 2018, I think. Might have been 2019. I have to go back and look at the pictures, but hanging out in Atlanta. And so I am single, but the person I'm with, the guy that she's in a relationship with, is there, and we're in his car, and we come out, and some guys like, hey, and I was like, don't look at them, just keep going where you're going, don't look up, don't keep. And I was like, hey, how you doing? We fine. No, thank you, sir. And I cut him off, so quickly, and he was like, no, thank you, sir. That's what you said to me. He said, I didn't even say I was trying to talk to you. I was like, you're right, sir. I apologize. My bad. What's up? He was like, but now that I got your attention, I was like, I see where you was going to say, okay, no, sir. I can't. And I just left it at that. But it's funny now. But at the time, I was thinking, here we are in Atlanta. And Atlanta is a melting pot for everything. So you don't really know if these are the angry type of guys or if they the jokes. So you don't really know, but you kind of just like winging it. You don't really But my thing is, I'm never disrespectful. I'm a politely decline. Even I was talking back to, there was a guy at the gas station twice, same gas station. I don't even know why I go back and play my lottery. But the way in which they attempted to get my attention was a no from me. Like, we know what we gonna entertain and what we not. So I beg you, alongside teaching our kids common sense and book sense and giving them a trade and sending them to college and letting them play ball and doing all these things that some of us didn't have a chance to do, teach them their self-worth. Because if he knew his self-worth, then he would understand why she said no, or he wouldn't have been bitter, or his ego wouldn't have been bruised. There's no right or wrong that I can make it, because it was wrong. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out where the mentality came from that you can't be told no. I don't know. I tell them that all the time. It ain't gonna always be a yes. It's gonna be a no. So expect the no's. Expect the no's, because you're gonna get way more no's at shit than you're gonna get yeses. So when the yeses come around, you appreciate it. So I am so it just hurts so bad. Just like, what did Dr. King do it for? If we still gon' just fuck around and find out. Because it's just, it comes down to a split second decision on how you gonna rock this out. And we gotta start equipping our kids better. Although, again, you don't know. But there's a baby boy that doesn't have his mother. There's a mother that doesn't have her daughter. There's mothers without their sons. There's mothers everywhere with this same exact scar. Because it's like a scar. It's like a sorority. And it's different parts, it's different levels, but it's all the same hurts. Almost the same hurts. But we are praying, we are sending our love, we are sending you strength. And I'm asking that we put an extra layer of protection on our daughters. Pray over them, pray with them, pray them through. Teach them how to pray for themselves. This is a cold, cold world. And it's only getting colder. And it ain't even hot yet.